Before you file that marriage green card application this year, let's talk about the 5 things your case needs to have in order to get that approval. I'm Bianca Jordan, immigration attorney at Brazen Legal. I provide immigration services to clients all over the world. To learn more about working with me, visit brazenlegal.com. So it's important to know that USCIS is going to scrutinize your case with a fine-tooth comb, especially if you have been married for under 2 years. And now that we know that USCIS uses a variety of tools, a lot of tech, some AI tools to try to detect immigration fraud, the stakes are even higher in your case. So here's what you're going to need this year when you're applying for your green card to make sure that you have a smooth immigration journey. So number 1, you want to make sure that you have evidence of a bona fide marriage. Put another way, you want to make sure that you have evidence that your marriage is real, that your marriage is genuine, because USCIS is going to use this evidence to determine the authenticity of your relationship. So you're going to have to make sure that you have really strong documentation to show, for example, that you intend to establish a life together as spouse and spouse. And when it comes to gathering the evidence and submitting it for your green card case, quality matters more than quantity. I don't want you to think you need to throw everything in the kitchen sink at your case. It's really what's going to be quality evidence. One piece of evidence that a lot of people forget to include in their case, especially if they were previously married, is the divorce certificate. This is super, super important if you've ever been married before. Oftentimes, clients get so caught up in trying to prove that their current marriage is real and valid that they often forget to include the divorce certificate. So if you've ever been divorced before, that is really the most important piece of evidence you need to include in your case, because if you can't show that your divorce was valid, then your current marriage really doesn't matter that much to USCIS. Next, you want to make sure that you have comprehensive documentation. In other words, you want to make sure that you are thorough. You want to be really complete. I know a lot of people who like to prefer to say, I'll just send in, a little bit of this, a little bit of that, and if USCIS needs anything else from me, they'll just send me a request for evidence. Doing so not only really delays your case, but it's very risky and it increases your likelihood of getting a denial. Because here's the thing, USCIS appreciates when you make their job easier, so you want to make sure that you are being as thorough as possible when it comes to filing that green card application. So you really want to make sure that you're submitting high quality evidence. So I previously talked about quality over quantity, but you also want to make sure that what you're submitting is really high quality as well. So for example, any documents that are in a foreign language, you want to make sure that you're getting them translated into English before you send them into USCIS. You want to make sure that you're sending in clear copies. Don't send any partial documents. Don't take like half a picture of a page and send that into USCIS. Don't send them in any pictures with your ashy knees showing. You only have one chance to make a good first impression with USCIS, and you want to make sure that whoever is going to receive your case is going to really afford it the level of respect and seriousness that it requires, because you've taken your case seriously by the way that you're presenting it to immigration. Third, you want to make sure that you are submitting clear evidence of financial support. And so if you're getting a green card through marriage or a family member, then your petitioner is going to have to file an affidavit of support for you. And the affidavit of support is a contract between the petitioner and the U.S. government that's basically saying that the petitioner has the financial stability to support you in the event that, let's say, you were unable to get a job. the petitioner makes enough money where they would be able to financially support you so that you don't end up needing to apply for food stamps or become a public charge. And so you need to verify that the petitioner's income meets the requirements. You can do this by going to uscis.gov, and if not, you're going to need a joint sponsor. I have seen many people get their cases denied at this stage because they're not taking it seriously. Fourth, you want to consider submitting supplemental evidence with your case, things like affidavits or letters of support. Sometimes if my clients' cases don't have all the evidence that I would like to see, we'll go ahead and we'll submit some affidavits and letters from people who can really attest to the authenticity of my client's marriage. And lastly, I really want you to prepare for the green card interview. Do not neglect preparing for the green card interview. And I know that this is hard because over the last 3 years, USCIS has been waiving green card interviews left and right for a lot of cases, but as I mentioned in my immigration predictions video, I really do think that we're going to start seeing USCIS calling people back in for interviews. I know that I've seen some of that happening with my own cases. I know other attorneys who also have had to go to green card interviews for their clients again. So I really want you to be prepared. Be prepared to answer questions about your marriage from, how did you meet to what did you have for breakfast this morning? If you have any issues in your past, maybe you lied on a visa application in the past, or maybe you were previously in deportation proceedings or got a previous denial or had any criminal issues, anything like that, I strongly suggest that you work with an immigration attorney who can help you prepare your testimony for your immigration interview. So I hope you found this video helpful. Please subscribe to this channel, like and share this video with everyone you know, and if you'd like to work with me to get a green card this year, visit brazenlegal.com to learn more about me and to schedule your consultation.